What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for finding the YouTube channel. My name's RJ, also known as Liquid Music ENT over on twitch.tv. We do a great freaking sit down with a great streamer and a fantastic person every single month to get to know them a little bit more. And this month is not any exception you could think of. We spoke to Tatsuya Inc. Messages under in her link is in the description below, and you can't miss a great freaking episode in this. And you found a great one because she is the founder of the Dragon's Nest. She is a partner over in Twitch, and she is a fantastic person. We talked about everything from multiple sclerosis to her streaming, how she lived in Dallas and all over the United States where she's came from, and also obviously her founding of the Dragon's Nest. So this is a great one. I just got to say, I know you all are been around for a long time. This is possibly, I think if I counted right, maybe the 19th month in a row that we've done this, and I appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. This is one of the few that we have left before TwitchCon, and I seriously thank you so much for all the support that we've done, raising money for us to go to TwitchCon and get there without bankrupting my checkbook. So y'all, seriously, thank you so much for everything it is. You'll see this in September. We only have a week after this releases to help support the channel. So if you catch this and you want to jump over to the channel of this live, like I said, it's Liquid Music ENT over on twitch.tv, and give the sub. It's discounted, so it's a great time to do it. So I appreciate it. I promise everybody I keep these intros short and sweet, so I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow if you can. We're growing a great channel in here. We have our Discord, all that stuff, our social medias, all that stuff in the description as well. So go check that out. But you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to see the awesome interview with Tatsuya Inc. We know her as Tatty. So thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. We're going to join 30 seconds into the video, and I'll see you on the flip side. Have a good one. Peace. Welcome on, gamers, music lovers, sports users all around the galaxy, and if you're a Padawan at least 18 years of age, you know what? I don't care. Just follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you all are good. That is the Dragon's Nest intro. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. We'll be talking about a little bit about that a little bit more. Welcome in, everybody. I see a whole bunch of people here, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out here. Everybody on time, getting that intro. If you did not hear, I learned a lot about Tatty, and she said her favorite band was Sleep Token. So if you heard the song Caramel, that's what we started with. So I appreciate everybody. I love hearing new music from other artists and stuff, and when she said that, I was like, ooh, I don't know. I'm sure if I've heard a lot of those songs. Then I've heard like 3 or 4. And I was like, let's pick something different that I've never heard before. So I picked Caramel, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We have a great show tonight, but before we get into that, we're going to be talking a little bit to Tatty for about an hour or so, and then we're going to cut the YouTube channel feed. And then we're going to give everybody that's here live a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of chatting, a little bit of like going over the questions we're going to probably skip because I always prepare for a whole lot more than what I normally do. But real quick here, just the rest of the streams for the month. We're going to come back tomorrow night at 11 p.m., play some Fortnite. Our interview from last month, we sat down with GameCow TV. That'll debut on the YouTube channel on the 25th of August. And then this one will also be on the YouTube channel in September. So if you missed it, or if you want to go back and listen to it and learn something, that'll be up there. And our last stream of the night will be on the 28th, 10 p.m., playing some Astrobot. So I think we're almost done with that game. We're almost getting there. We have like 2 or 3 missions left, a few fast speed missions that we have to do. Hi, everybody. Hi, Madam J. Hi, Allie. Hi, Butterfly. Hi, everybody that's lurking. Said hi. I appreciate you. If I missed you, I apologize. But you're not really here to take a look and take a peek of what I'm doing, let's go ahead and get started with what we're doing here. And I just realized I had something on the stream that I normally don't have on here. So I want to remove that real quick here because that doesn't need to be on here because we're not doing that tonight. But for tonight, we're joined by someone whose story is not just about gaming, but about resilience, family, and building community. She's been streaming since 2020, has grown her channel to over 4,700 stream followers in just that long. Played everything from Stream Runners when it was live to Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, and earlier this year, she hit one of the biggest milestones on Twitch. And that's Twitch partner, of course. And didn't stop there. She went on to create her own stream team, which thankfully I've been a part of, and a lot of people that I see in the chat here are part of it. It's called the Dragon's Nest, where she continues to inspire and lead others in the Twitch community. But her journey goes far beyond streaming. Originally from Kansas, she lived in Wisconsin, Kansas City, and now Texas, where she's raising her 12-year-old son with her husband of 8 years. Along the way, she faced challenges that would stop many in their tracks, being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis just a year ago, living with a thyroid disease, and even preparing for major surgery after a cancer scare. So yet, through it all, she's kept it going, finding strength not just for herself, but for the community she's built. So let's go ahead and finally bring on the person that you're here for. Yep, that's Tatty right there. She's right there, baby. Hi. Welcome, by the way.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, you know what? I mean, for everybody that's been through this, there's a few people that have been chat that have sat in the same chair you have, and they know that we get to sit down and chat just a little bit right before stream, make sure the sound, make sure the camera, all that kind of stuff is live and working good. And to be fair, I've been following you for a while, and then I said, oh, we could join the stream team. I'll go join the channel. And I'm like, why am I not following anymore? So I refollowed, got to hang out with you a little bit in stream. And then I was like, yep, this is why I follow you, because this is the stuff that I just said in the intro, why I love hanging out with you. So if you want, before we get into some of the questions and stuff like that, you want to introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, and all that kind of fun stuff that we do.
Hi, I'm Tatty Inc. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know.
For everybody that's already hung out with me, like, we get a little wild and crazy, you know, a little out of control sometimes. It's a lot of chaos. A little naughty, but not too over the top. It's as a good friend of mine, wholesome adjacent sometimes. But it doesn't go crazy. But we all like to be a little on the dangerous side sometimes, but for the most part, we love to hang out with everybody. We love to help everybody that's trying to hit a goal. We're just there to make you smile and hopefully make you laugh. If I'm not, I'll try a little harder, but yeah.
And what I like about your stream, and this is kind of like, and I don't really like self-promote my own self on my own streams like this, but like to get people away from the everyday norm of the bullshit that happens and the drama that's outside life, and to be able to turn on a stream and go to Twitch or go to wherever you go to and just disappear from that shit for a little bit. That's what I like about your streams, and that's why I like coming into your streams and doing that kind of stuff. So super fucking awesome.
It's like reading a book. You read the book to like get away from everything, you know? So
yeah,
I don't know. And you watch TV shows, so you don't have to think about your life. You can think about the TV show's life or whatever drama they're going through. And I feel like we're a TV show, you know? So we've got to entertain you and help you not think of the shitty day you had. And you're like, wow, I sat down, I was having a shitty day, and you know, here I am.
I always thought Twitch was an interactive TV show for sure. I love that you use that, because you're not just sitting there just watching it, you know, oh, I can just turn the TV show on and go do dishes, but you want to be interactive. You're talking to somebody, they're talking back, and
and I mean, it's okay for you just to be there too, because like you don't interact with an actual TV show. So like if you need it there for the noise or to help you get through whatever you're working on or whatever, it's there for you, you know?
Yeah. And it's kind of like my therapy. Like people are like, oh, Twitch is just for gaming and things like that. It's like, yeah, we game, we have a good time, we bring people on. I mean, let's be honest with you, half the stuff that I do is just bring people on just to kind of get them away to play games, but yet it's more of an excuse just to get away from everything like we were just talking about. So
Yeah.
so here's what we're going to do tonight for everybody that's brand new to the channel or brand new to how we do this. I had Tatty come in and last month to kind of see what it's all about, and she's like, yep, I'll be a part of it. So there's the 3 categories that we usually talk about other than getting to know you a little bit. That's right above us, that you're living in Dallas right now, a little bit of multiple sclerosis. We're going to talk about what that impact is, how it affected you, and then educate other people what that is, and then also lean into how that rotated into streaming and then how that rotated into the Dragon's Nest and all that kind of stuff. But let's first get to know you a little bit more. Like,
Okay.
let's kind of like start from the beginning a little bit. Like, I know that you said you've been in multiple places. Like, so where did you kind of like originate from, and then how did you transition from there to your journey to Texas? How did you end up there?
Originally from Kansas. Parents divorced at a pretty young age. At first, we kind of stayed in Kansas. So I'm originally from Manhattan, Kansas. My parents divorced, and my mom lived in Lawrence, Kansas for a little bit. And then after that, we lived in Illinois for just a very short time. Like, I can't even say that we lived there for very long because it wasn't very long at all. So, and I don't really remember a whole lot of Illinois. So, like, I say that we were there, but like we weren't there long enough to have like anything impact me for anything. And then we moved to Wisconsin because my mom met my stepdad. And when we moved there, I was starting middle school and my brother was starting elementary, so we were still pretty young of age. And lived there for the next like 13 plus years. I did move away like my junior year and went and lived with my dad again in Kansas. And then I moved back. So that's where like the 13 plus comes in.
Yeah.
It was probably longer than that because I didn't leave there again until after I graduated college.
Oh, yeah.
Where I met my husband. We met in college, and I graduated in, was it 02? No, 2012. I graduated in 2012. And then, so like half of my family works for General Motors.
Oh, yeah.
So my stepdad and his parents, because there used to be a plant in Janesville, Wisconsin. That's where I lived. And it closed down. So they moved to Kansas before I did. I stayed behind. And they were able to get my brother in. So my brother ended up moving with them. And his girlfriend ended up moving a little afterwards. I stayed with her for a hot minute. And then I moved out on my own. While I was in college, I was like, I'm going to finish college and then I'll come to Kansas City. Cause that's where he transferred from Janesville was to Kansas City for General Motors. That's when I met Tim, my husband. And we had been dating for a little while, and it was getting close to the time of me graduating. And my mom goes, they're taking applications again at the plant. Does Tim want us to put an application in for him? And he said, yeah.
That's cool.
Because he was like, I'm not staying here when you move. He was like, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
Dang it. No, I'm just kidding. He was, so he flew out to Kansas City before I was done graduating, and he lived with my parents for like a few months. Without me.
Nothing wrong with that.
That was a good icebreaker for them, I guess. But then I graduated and my mom came up with me. She came up for my graduation, and we packed stuff up into like the car and U-Haul and whatever, and we drove back because it was only like an 8-hour drive between Kansas and Wisconsin. So, and it was a drive that me and my mom were used to anyway, because when, like I said, the parents were divorced, so we would
Yeah.
always have to go back and forth and stuff. So it wasn't a drive that I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
Um,
Allie was asking what part of Wisconsin.
Janesville.
Janesville. Okay. I think you
Yeah,
said
not
that, but I
too
just
far
wasn't
from
sure.
Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it right outside of Madison. Like Madison was maybe 10, 15 minutes, unless there was like construction, which there's always construction going in between there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was. Janesville is like really close to the Illinois border. So really like down there at in Wisconsin. But yeah, then drove down to Kansas City. The job that I was working at in Wisconsin, I was able to transfer out in Kansas City and saved up enough money, and me and Tim moved out.
Yeah.
Got our own place, working, and then
What did you go? What did you go to college for?
So I went to a college to be a nurse.
Yeah.
But my memory retention for like doing like big tests and stuff like that is not so great.
Me neither.
And I couldn't pass the big test to become a nurse.
Yeah.
And I had already taken it twice. I did have an option to do it again, but if you take it 3 times and fail, like you can't ever go for it again.
Really?
So yeah, so I was like, this I guess is not what I want to do, because I've always wanted to help people, especially after I lost my dad.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to go to nursing to figure out like why it was, because I was struggling really hard of why I lost my dad. So I thought nursing would kind of help with that, because again, I even tried to work in a nursing home, and that was just really hard for me.
I don't know how people do that, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I got too attached, and some of them passed away, and like it was like I lost a family member. I'm an empath, so like I pick up on emotions a lot, and it was really hard for me, so I couldn't do it. And honestly, I think it was just a calling of saying like you wouldn't have been able to be a nurse either, because it just would have been really hard. But to be fair, if I was going to be a nurse, I was going to be a phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Because I was really good at drawing blood.
Yeah.
So, but that didn't work out. So I just ended up doing retail. I used to work at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
For like 12 years. And finally became an assistant manager towards the end before I quit. And
it's funny. You do 12 years as a normal associate. You're like, yep. I've done this many times. I get in management. I'm like, nope. Nope.
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to change who I was and treat everybody like I hadn't been in that position before. And I was like, that's not how I want. That's not how I want to do it. Like, I don't want to. Yeah, I get that I have to like divvy up responsibilities and stuff like that, but that still doesn't mean that I can't help them.
Right.
Because like we all helped each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were a good manager anyway, the managers were helping you to begin with anyways. And I was like, all of my managers in the past have done that. Yeah, I'm salary now and I could put in the extra time, but that was the problem, was I was salary. So they wanted to work you like a regular worker.
Yeah.
But then still tell you to divvy up the responsibilities. And with, don't get me wrong, TJ Maxx is a great place. I'm not trying to like poop on them or anything like that, but they wanted you to do a certain amount of things in a certain amount of time and have it done. But that's not how it's always done.
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't know, they were talking to me like I hadn't have been an associate for the amount of years before I became a manager. Like, I know what to do. I know how things go, and I know both sides now, and you're trying to make me be somebody I'm not. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I quit. But it was close to when Tim was going to be transferred here to Texas anyways. So I just got like a part-time job at a bank before we moved.
Yeah.
And it's weird because part-time working at that bank job, I got sick, and I'm curious if when I got sick, if that's what like started my decline of everything. Because then I had to quit because I didn't know when I was gonna be better. And I was in and out of the hospital a lot. So I had Tim take my stuff and like put my 2 weeks in for me because like I was sick and I couldn't go and do it myself. And I was like in charge of the vault and stuff, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable having these.
Yeah.
And I was gonna quit anyway. And then we moved here. And we moved here right when the hugest snowstorm Texas has ever seen. I was like, I feel like this is like a bad omen or a bad sign.
I mean, you start low, so it's always going high. Then you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, 100-car pileup. I don't know if everybody saw that on the news. The 100-car pileup on the interstate because Texas isn't used to stuff like that, so they don't have the truck and the equipment for that. So, like 100-car pileup, a lot of people lost their lives from that. The hugest power outage that Texas has ever seen. And we were stuck in that, so we didn't have power for 4 days.
Holy crap! Yeah.
My mom's freaking out. She's like, "What can I send you? What can I help you with?" And I was like, "Mom, even if you sent us stuff, like it's not gonna get here, and we'll probably have power."
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
And she was like, "Can I get you into a hotel?" And we thought of that too late. And we were calling the hotels, and they were all booked.
Yeah, because everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to, and Hunter at the time, he was still little. He was just starting first grade. So we all just huddled into the bed together. We lit a bunch of candles. We got like a bunch of the clay pots and used them as heating things. Like we stayed pretty warm in a third floor apartment for just the three of us, and we ate out a lot because we couldn't cook anything. And we lost all our food. So like, yeah, it was a mess. And then COVID hit.
Of course it is. Yeah.
COVID hit. He got to do first grade and then started second grade, and COVID hit. So it was homeschooling. And then after that, like one day, like I always get this itch that I want to redo the house and rearrange everything because I'm tired of it being the way that it is. And I know a lot of ladies are probably out there like, yep. And Tim yells at me all the time, and he's like, "Why do you want to move everything? You're constantly always wanting to move things." And then I'm like, "I didn't ask you to help me. You assume that I want you to help me. I didn't ask you. I can do this on my own." Well, then I can't do it on my own. So if I do need to move things, he has to help me. But I was moving furniture around, and I messed my back up really bad. So right where my spine and my hips connect.
Yeah.
The L5 is I have a bulge there. It's a slip disc right there. And I don't know if it's fully healed. But like I said, when I got sick in Kansas City and then that slip disc, I feel like that was the start of the decline of the rest of my health.
Oh, yeah.
Because then we go into, like, I'm getting in like pain and stuff throughout the rest of my body, and it just kind of slowly builds until I'm like, I can't take this anymore. And we went to the doctor to figure out everything else.
Yeah. Just for chat, there are a little bit of Discord delays, so it happens sometimes when Discord loves to catch up and do all everything. So I'm still hearing everything, you're still getting everything, but I mean, that happens sometimes with Discord. So that's happened before. So like when you guys made it to Texas and you do everything, like, and you thought maybe it was a bad omen, then it was COVID and everything else happening. What is it? Just job that's letting you stay there, or do you actually enjoy being in Texas because of everything?
Well, we came mostly out here before Tim. We knew when we moved out here. I don't always like to say this, but we don't have anybody out here. It's just the three of us. So we knew that that's why when we had no power, like my mom was freaking out because we didn't have anywhere that we could go and stay, or like get food or stuff like that if we needed to, or so she was freaking out. It's been like a whole experience. I do like being out here because I don't know, like the pressures of always having to go and see family when you're closer, as to when you're a little further away, you don't have to see them all the time. I do miss them every once in a while, but like, I don't know, I feel like us as a family, we've had to just rely on each other. And we knew coming out here that Tim was going to have to just be the one working and stuff like that. And Tim, he said he wanted to do that anyways. So Twitch helps with that too. Especially now, like if he has to take FMLA days for if I have a MS flare up and stuff like that, he doesn't get paid for those days. So like a lot of it helps like with Twitch and stuff to cover those days. But he would rather be here to help take care of me than to not be here. So
right. And the ice storm was like, well, like what, 2019, 2020, give or take? Like, it was right before COVID.
Yeah, it was right before COVID. We moved out here right kind of towards the end of 2019. Give or take. Whenever it was a month after I think school had started, so they hadn't been in school for very long here yet. And then he got to do first grade, and then COVID hit. And I think the rest of his first grade was done here, and then second grade was done at home as well.
Yeah, so like that was a lot of like tablet from home and all, like, oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, well, the good thing about that is they did, so teachers still went to the school building, and they taught from their rooms.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
It was just like video teaching and stuff like that. So I just had to make sure that he was staying there and paying attention and stuff like that, and then gave him lunch and stuff like that. So
we had that in kindergarten. Tried to get 2 kindergartners to stay on their tablets to watch that. That's not going to happen. Then find out that they're not there. You can hear them, but he's playing some game like over.
Yeah.
How the hell did you learn how to do that? Oh, jeez. I usually wait till this question till later on because we're going to talk about streaming a little bit later, but like it kind of relates to what you're talking about now. It was like when you guys moved in and you got everything situated and got everything done, how did the inspiration to start streaming even start then? Because I mean, obviously that wasn't a plan right away.
No, so I started streaming on when Mixer was still up, but just at the tail end of Mixer before it shut down.
Yeah.
I was watching a Facebook streamer, and my brother and stuff like that were like, you should try to do that. And because at the time when I first started streaming, I was playing a lot of Call of Duty. And funny enough, I was playing on my Xbox. I didn't have a PC to game from yet. That didn't come until later on. I had an Apple computer when I first started streaming. And I hooked my Xbox up to that. And I was in a Xbox kind of like Xbox Call of Duty clan kind of thing. And they wanted to stream a lot of the clan, the team stuff when we would do team battles and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll make an account and I can use it for that. So it was kind of just for that at first.
Yeah.
But then I started watching this person on Facebook and I was like, I could do that. And so I downloaded OBS again on my Apple computer. Got a capture card, hooked my Xbox up, and the very first camera I had, a friend of mine, he's still my friend and still hangs out in my stream. He gifted me a camera and the capture card, I think. And then my stream deck, a friend of mine got it for me for my birthday.
That's awesome.
And I still use it and it's still good. I've had it for it'll be 5 years in October since I've been streaming. So
Probably one of the first tools I tell everybody after you get everything, all the basics done, like your computer, your camera, all stuff like that. That's one of the accessories I always say that's really good.
Stream Deck is so useful and so underrated. Like so many sounds that you could put on there, and even if you just get the smaller one, you could put folder upon folder upon folder on the mini pages, and you don't even need the bigger one. I feel like the bigger one is just so you have more buttons
that's all
on the surface instead of like going through each folder. So I pretty much Warzone is what I started streaming.
It's funny because like the more I get to know you, it's funny because I started streaming Warzone too, and then I got to the point where it's like, for one, saturated. For two, not my game anymore. And for three, I started having PTSD of like military history and military stuff. I was like, first-person shooter, not the best for me. So I've learned that really quick here.
It's funny, haha, not funny that you say that, because I feel like a lot of vets played Call of Duty because like they were Army or whatever, and it's just like a sense of like kind of like, I don't know, homeness for them, you know?
Yeah. Like I'm part of a group called Regiment, and that's a lot of military people, and they do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. A lot of that is
TX Squid is part of that.
Yep.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know a lot of the names, but I don't know if I like personally wise. But like
he lives up the street from me.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean their home base is in Texas, so I mean like I could see that they're
part of the payroll. It's TX Squid 1 if you want to look at him. He mostly is on Kick now, but he does have a Twitch.
I mean, if they're part of the group and in the Discord, I'd probably talk to them, because I've actually I actually interviewed one of the moderators for my military podcast that I do, and it was super great to talk to them right before their 5-year anniversary or whatever. Anyway, but anyway, so like I can get lost in a lot of things, to be honest with you. So like before we move into like everything, since we're kind of talking about Texas and stuff like that, so most of my people that come in, like Allie was from Wisconsin, I had Miss Night Angel from Australia, I had Game Cal from New Orleans. Like I always ask this like very similar questions, like if I was never been there before, like what would be like your first like couple things you would say, hey, you want to go see this, you want to like visit this. These are the things that I would recommend you guys to see where you guys are at.
Well, I don't live very far from the Cowboy Stadium, so I guess I would say go down there, because not only are you going to see the Cowboy Stadium, you're going to see the baseball stadium, because they're right next to each other, and there's like a whole like bar that they built down there around the stadiums, and then there's like Six Flags right there. So other than that, I would not know what to tell you to go because I don't leave my house. So
no, you're good. Like there's always tourism stuff, but there's also like
and Dr. Pepper Museum.
Oh wait,
it's
what?
not here near me, but Dr. Pepper Museum's here in Texas, and it's not very far. It's like an hour drive, I think.
Oh, that's not bad. Because I've been down. Yeah. I've been to San Antonio actually a couple times for like military things like that. So I got to see the Alamo and all that kind of stuff. But like Dallas itself has some really cool things too, and they're downtown. Like so I know when I was looking it up for you, I know there was a lot of great food places, a lot of great stuff like that too. So
yeah, there's not a lot of food places. We also went over to Dallas and went to the Grassy Knoll, and actually like being there is way more impactful than like actually seeing it in pictures and stuff. It's so busy down there. And to think that they had like that whole area just like petitioned off just for like, I mean, he's the president of course, but like they had that whole area, and just to think that how much, well, and they didn't have a lot of people as they probably do now, but like the traffic down there was so much. Imagine.
Yeah.
But just being there was really, my stepdad, when they had come down, he wanted to go over there, and it was really fascinating and really fun to be over there.
Yeah. I always loved like the secret areas. I love those areas where it's like you don't even think about like going to that, and someone says go see it. You're like, All right. I guess I'll go see something that I didn't know anything about. And you're like, man, I'm so glad you told me about that. And that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love the grassy knoll. Do you feel like in the area where you live, do you think that they have like great, like, I'd say like hospitals or doctors and stuff like that for the MS, for the diagnoses and all that kind of stuff? Or do you feel like you're
the hospital I go specifically for my MS, yes.
okay?
Anywhere else, not it's not very good. To be honest, when I had my first full body episode where I couldn't move or do anything, everything just kind of went out on me. We went to the hospital that we normally go to for anything else. And it was awful. Worst experience that I have ever experienced in a hospital to date. Besides my cyst surgery on my right hand. But nobody knows about the medicine that I'm taking except for the hospital that I go to see my neurologist at.
Yeah.
Nobody in like where my regular doctor is, so it's Texas Health is what my regular doctor is through, and who helped me to figure out all the things.
Yeah.
Which is, he's a fantastic doctor. Because I wouldn't have found out what I have if he wouldn't have checked all the boxes and was like, we're not going to give up until we figure it out. They didn't know what my medicine was. They tried to tell me that I couldn't take my medicine like I was supposed to, like I do here for my gabapentin, because we had just recently upped it and it didn't get charted into my chart.
Of course it didn't.
It was really late and I still hadn't gotten my medicine yet, but Tim had to go home anyway because he has to sleep with the CPAP machine. Otherwise he doesn't sleep, and it really terrifies me. So I was like, you need to go home. If you're staying here, you have to go home and you have to go get it. And the nurse was like, just get the medicine that she normally takes from home.
Right. Yeah.
And we were like, okay. The next day, nobody talked to anybody. Nobody filled anybody in on anything.
Of course not.
I have an adhesive allergy, and they put adhesive on me for this heart monitor thing. So taking it off was awful. And I had welts and stuff from taking the stuff off. Yeah. And it didn't want to come off, and everything. It stayed there for a god awful long time. The nurse that took over from the last nurse didn't know anything that was going on, and when I told her that they told me to just take the medicine that I had at home, yelled at me, told me that I wasn't supposed to do that ever, took my medicine away from me and put it in a bag, and then didn't give my medicine to me when I was supposed to take it. They said that a neurologist was going to come in and talk to me. And when she finally came in, which if I wouldn't have kept asking,
right.
I don't think she would have came in that day, and I would have been in there for a whole nother day when I was actually feeling better. It was just like a whole body episode, and it had already passed, and I could walk and stuff like that and walk around and without falling over. She finally comes in and she goes, "Are you sure that you have MS?" I was like, excuse me? She was like, "Are you sure that your diagnosis for MS is sound?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm seeing a specialist." And she was like, "From where?" And I told her, and then she goes, "Well, we can't access the charts for that, so I don't know anything about your case and blah, this and that." I was like, "Well, I'm not here for you to know what is my case and what's not. You're just here to let me know that I can go home.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to replace my neurologist that I have."
Yeah.
And when she left the room, I told Tim, I was like, if she's a neurologist, she needs to go back to school because she's not good at all.
Yeah, a little bedside manner. Jeez.
Yeah, excuse my language, she was a bitch.
Oh, I mean,
And I gave her the same energy back. Like, I was really nasty to her. I was like, well, I'm already seeing a neurologist, blah, this and that. And I was like, my body just had an episode and I crashed. And she was like, what do you mean crashed? And I was like, well, how I explain it is my body is so exhausted and can't do anything, but I need to go lay down. And she acted like she didn't know that term when any other neurologist that I've talked to knew exactly what I was talking about. It was the worst. It was the worst. And then they lost power. So she was like, it's going to take a little bit longer to get your paperwork and blah, this and that. And I was like, am I still going to be able to go home? Because at this point, I wanted to get out.
I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah.
She was like, yes, I'll still be able to get your paperwork and blah, this and that. I was like, thank God. And then in my discharge papers, they tried to tell me to take my medicine a different way than what I was supposed to be taking my medicine. And I was like, I'm not following this. Right. They are idiots. And I am never, ever going there again. They didn't hook me up to an IV. They didn't check if I needed an IV or not. It was the worst experience in my entire life, and I will never, if I have an episode like that, I told Tim we're gonna drive the extra because the neurologist is just a little bit further away. It's a little closer to Dallas. I was like, but we're gonna go there instead because I can't do that again.
Yeah, I'd rather be in pain for an extra half hour than have to go through that bullshit again.
Yeah, it was bad.
So for those that, like, we talked about this earlier, so we're talking about diagnosis, we're talking about this. Let's talk about what MS is, and how did you find out that that was something that you had to look into?
So it's neurological in a nerve. So it's mostly nerve and neurological. It started with the pain here in my arm, and it would casually just every once in a while just shoot pain to the rest of the lower part of my arm.
Was that just all of a sudden like you were sleeping and all of a sudden you were just trying to figure this out, or like you were walking and all of the hits, or like you just knew that you were putting pressure on it when you were sleeping and you knew something was wrong?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep on my left side because it would just put my arm in excruciating pain. And that's kind of when I started figuring something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And I'm really stubborn, and it takes me a lot longer to go to the doctors to figure out what's wrong with me because I hate doctors.
And plus, you don't want to face the reality of something actually is wrong. So it's like,
exactly. I finally made an appointment with the current regular doctor that I have, and I explained to him what was happening. And at first, because I had told him I had already had thyroid disease and I already had an autoimmune disease.
Was that hereditary, or is that something you got diagnosed again later on?
No, I think my thyroid disease was hereditary on my dad's side. I think my grandma had it and it was undiagnosed because my uncle has thyroid disease. But I won't know because my grandma's passed. So but I think because she fluctuated with her weight as well, and I really think hers was undiagnosed and it was never like brought to the attention. When I got pregnant, I got the thyroid and stuff. So I have hypothyroidism, and then my autoimmune is Hashimoto's, which hyperthyroidism often pairs with Hashimoto's anyways.
So you got a trifecta of shit going on right now. It's like,
right. Well, the bad thing is when we moved out here to Texas, I didn't know that I had PCOS until I got my thyroid doctor out here, which she's fantastic. I love her. But she told me, she was like, so you have hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. I was like, correct. And she was like, and PCOS. I was like, wait, what? And she was like, what, the doctor didn't tell you? I was like, no, he didn't tell me.
No.
I was like, oh, well, fantastic. So three things that attack my body. So the Hashimoto's, the hypothyroidism, and the PCOS all attack your body in three different ways.
Yeah.
So that right there is half of the exhaustion. So then the doctor was like, well, let's do a bunch of tests, check off some boxes. He did a bunch of blood work because he wanted to make sure if it was like a blood autoimmune, because like we were talking earlier, if you have one, there's a chance that you have another.
Right.
So we were on the right track. It was just not one that you could find in the blood. So when I was telling him about my arm, so the first neurologist that I started seeing, he was like, okay, let's get some MRIs and stuff like that. And the MRIs, the marker on my head and then the two on the spine. So he found those, but he was like, I want to say that it's MS.
Right.
But he was like, I want a second opinion. So the current neurologist that I have, he sent me to them. And when I got there, it threw me off because he asked for an eye exam. And I was like, okay. Not a thing that you would think that a neurologist would ask for.
Yeah.
But when I got back to the room and met him and told him all the spiel of everything that was going on and stuff like that, and the breakdown of the pain and stuff like that, I was like, so what was the eye exam for? And he was like, I was going to get to that. And he was like, well, we'll talk about it right now. And he was like, you were basically on the line of, it could either be not MS and you just have the pain symptoms that mimic MS, or it could be MS. And he said, with your eye exam, I could see that the MS is slowly eating at your left side of your eye. And it looks like the MS is affecting the majority of your left side and not your right side. So he was like, that kind of tips you over for it being MS.
See,
So
I'd be a little worried that it's a stroke, because they always say like one side of your body is always that way, and you're saying MS. Like, what's? Damn, that's a total. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, and if correct me if I'm wrong, stroke is on the left side, correct?
It's on the left
So,
side.
like,
That's what I was like. Oh shit.
So it was really like, is this a stroke, or
Yeah.
am I gonna die? Like, but no, MS, unfortunately. So now a picture restless leg syndrome in your legs, in my arm 24/7. And actually the sad thing, and thankfully I have a neurologist appointment coming up, because my right arm has slowly been kind of starting to act like my left side.
Oh, shit.
And I'm right-handed dominant, so yeah.
So
Yay.
like, yeah, no shit. Like when the trifecta hits, you're just like, what else is next? I mean, whatever it is, just tone it down. It's like whatever. Like,
Well, I did get hit with something else. It's not it yet, but it has the potential of being it, and not something that I do need on my bingo card.
yeah.
But I found an OBG, and when I went to her, I was like, I want to get a hysterectomy. TMI, when I get my periods, it inflames and brings my MS to like the peak of the worst of the worst. And that's what I've been going through. So, it used to be the first couple of weeks. So the first week I get the symptoms before I actually start the actual thing. And then the next week is the actual thing. And I'm either down and out for the first week, or I'm down and out for the second week. Just depends on how heavy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want this out. It intensifies everything. It makes everything 10 times worse. And I lose 100 times more energy than when I'm not on this.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, well, we need to do a biopsy. And she was new.
Yeah.
So she wanted to see my ovaries. And I was like, well, I can already tell you my ovaries are completely covered in cysts.
Yeah.
That's part of the PCOS.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, but we just need it for like the records and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, you're new, it's fine,
Yeah.
I get it.
Need to check
you
in the
wanna,
box. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Need to
you
check
want
the
to
box.
see everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So while the tech is doing the ultrasound, she's taking a lot of pictures, and I was like, is all of that picture taking of the cysts? And she was like, oh yeah. And she was like, yeah, you're covered in cysts. I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Thanks for
And
checking the
then-
box for me. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So then
Yeah.
I go into the doctor to do the biopsy, and she was like, yep, it looks like your ovaries are covered in cysts. I was like, yep, I could have told you that. Biopsy's done, and I go back for the results. And the reason why everything's just been just god awful for everything down there and just everything in general. My uterine lining is thicker than what it's supposed to be. And there's a potential. So I have what's called pre-uterine cancer, which I carry the cells to potentially have uterine cancer. So that's solidified.
Yeah.
I think having the MS would have been okay for me to be able to get the hysterectomy because I'm 40.
Yeah.
I can't have kids anyways because of all the other stuff,
Yeah.
and me being in pain constantly from every other thing that happens with my uterus and stuff like that. It solidified me to be able to get my hysterectomy. So I'm going to be getting a hysterectomy in January. And she said, hopefully it'll get rid of all the cells and I won't have to worry about that.
Right. And with all the pain, you don't want another one anyway. You know, I was saying I wouldn't want. Yeah,
well, yeah. Well, we tried to have another one, but with like the thyroid and stuff and the PCOS, it's really hard. I'm very lucky to have been able to have the one.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if I could have had another one, but it wasn't in the cards, and you know what? That's okay.
Yeah. I totally understand that, and I think what we're trying to do here, and I said this before we even started, is like for those that know what's going on, and I'm reading the chat and trying to listen to you and read chat and with everything's going on with neurologists and all this stuff. It's like when everybody's going through all this kind of stuff and understanding what that is, like you understand that, you know, what people are going through. And now I don't know. Obviously, I don't catch every stream because you stream during the day and I stream at night. You know, we're kind of opposite or whatever, but like with all this information out there, like how have you been open, and how has like the streams and like the community been aware of all this kind of stuff, and how are they supportive throughout the whole process?
So when the first potential, so when I told everybody, I was like, it looks like it could be MS.
Yeah.
But even before that, I was like, I was already coming to terms, like, there's a lot of things I can't play right now because it just inflames my left arm and it hurts.
Right.
So we're going to have to come up with other things that I can play. And at the time, Stream Raiders was still going.
Of
so
course.
I was like,
yeah. Great.
maybe I just do Stream Raiders and like have ducks on the side and stuff like that, or have ducks and words or something like that. Just something that was clickable and I didn't have to use my left arm. Well, Red Spectre 23 and Puna Kappa, they also were Stream Raiders peeps, and they played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. And I was like, I kept watching them and I kept watching them play, and I was like, I kind of want to give this a shot because growing up, I never played an MMO, never was into an MMO. I was a shooter girl. I played Stardew Valley, Apex, COD, Valorant, you name it. Everything that included my left arm, I was playing it. Even Aki Tatty Tuesdays started off because of Stardew Valley. So
so when you saw them playing Elder Scrolls Online, did you realize how kind of like, is it more easier to play while you're focusing on chat, or is it more of like a game that's, for those that don't know what it is it more of like, I have to focus on this game and it takes away from chat a little bit?
No, I went because it's easier on my body.
Yeah.
I can read chat a lot better when I'm playing an MMO. I still miss things.
So do we all.
Fishman JW will point that out. But love you, Fishman. But he always points out when I miss things. I still miss things. Even when I had it on slow mode, I was still missing things. So I just took slow mode off because it really defeated the purpose. But no, it was more of I wanted to give it a shot, and we were already talking about getting me a 12 key mouse anyway. So we got the 12 key mouse. And I'm able to put like majority of all my buttons that I need for ESO
do all the key
on my
binds
12
it.
key mouse.
Sure.
Yep. And the same with WoW. I can move and do everything on my mouse, and I hardly have to hit the keyboard.
That's nice.
So it was more of a what's going to be easier on my body type of thing. And chat was like, well, we're going to be here regardless. We're not going anywhere. And a lot of the people that I made friends with were a lot of the friends from Stream Raiders. And they had been there from the start of me getting the first diagnosis and stuff like that. And they were like, well, whatever you choose to play, we'll be here. Like, they never left. So I started playing ESO in September, which, when did Stream Raiders go away?
March
I think I played
31st?
Stream Raiders
March 31st
for a little bit while playing ESO, and then I stopped playing Stream Raiders. And then didn't pick it up again until it like went away. But yeah, I started in September. Actually, September 27th will be a full year of ESO. And I don't know, like, the community was great. The community for ESO is great.
That's awesome.
Like I said, I can just sit there and chat, and it's easy for me to pick up on chat. If I die, I die type of situation. But like, I get to chat with chat a lot easier. It's a lot easier on my body. I get lost in it. It's one of those games that doesn't make me uncomfortable while I'm sitting here, especially with WoW too. Like, I just want to sit there and play, but it's not good for me to do that. But that's what I want to do. I actually have an eye appointment next week because I need to get different glasses. So I've noticed, like, being sitting here like in front of my computer screens, or if I'm relaxing out there and trying to have people up on my phone, which I want to try and support as many people as I can. So I'll have people up on my monitors. But if I'm out there, I have 2 phones that I try and pull people up.
Oh, that's nice.
Watching my phone and then trying to watch TV, it takes a lot for my eyes to readjust. And it's been murder on my head, and I've been having a lot of headaches, and I was like, I wonder if it's because of my glasses.
Could be prescription, or the blueness in it.
Well, and I haven't gotten new ones since getting the diagnosis of MS. So I told Tim that I think we need to get blue light glasses for me this time around.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think that'll help a little bit. But yeah, I love ESO. I love the community. And then we've been playing for 6 months. Right at the end of the year, I didn't plan on it, because even at that time I was like, I can't do long streams anymore. If it's a good day and I've rested really well enough the day before, I can do a 12-hour the next day, but I can't do it all the time. And I definitely can't go for like a really long time the next day, because it's just it's going to take my body that much longer to rest up.
Yeah, your peaks and valleys of how you stream and how you deal with it.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Like, you're not just sitting here just playing a video game. Like, you're here, you're entertaining, you're giving a whole bunch of energy. And it drains me a lot, and that's why I don't have a whole lot left in the afternoon. And I have to try and save some of that, because I still have to be a mom while Tim's at work. So, I mean, he's old enough that he can get a lot of things on his own. Right. But, like, I still want to be aware of what's happening and stuff like that. So, I ended up doing a really long stream that day on Sunday. I want to say it was Sunday. Whenever New Year's was. I started off playing with somebody, And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And then I kept going. And it was a wild night.
Yeah.
Everybody came in, everybody made me cry so many times. And then everybody kept like chanting and saying Tatsu for partner. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a poll.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are serious about this, I'm going to do it because you guys want this.
Right.
And I want to do it for you guys. Like, and they were like, yeah. So then after that, like, nobody understands. And I don't regret it, but I probably should have done it differently. But I ran myself into the ground.
Yeah.
I put my health to the background.
Yeah, the grind to do that is just insane.
Yeah,
like,
and I said, again, excuse my language, I said fuck it, and we're going hard.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing. And I did so many long streams, and I actually put what I wanted kind of forefront.
That's what she said.
And Tim took a lot of time off. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have had him do that, but like I really wanted this. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing what I did. I mean, if you're healthier than me and you can do it, like, do it. But I put in a lot of late nights, long streams, a lot of grinding, a lot of networking. Yeah, I could have probably done it differently, but I didn't. And I was down and out for like the rest next of the week, like week and a half. My body was like, nope, you're done. I think I ended up getting sick actually. My body was like, oh, you're done? Okay, well now you're sick. So I had no choice but to relax. So I think I even ended up losing my voice. So yeah. I wouldn't recommend doing that, guys.
Well, I want to get into the partner stuff. I want to get into Dragon's Nest stuff, and I want to get through it. Like, we have a lightning round at the end here, but I do have a couple last few questions. Like, while you're streaming, and how do you deal with the MS while you're streaming? And then how do you know that something's coming? Is there enough time to, oh shit, here it comes, I need to raid out, and then deal with it? Or does it like hit you like right away?
So I have ad breaks set up, and I specifically made sounds to let me know when ad break is coming, and I take my breaks. I go out and I physically stretch. I go to the bathroom. I go and do whatever. It only says like a 3-minute break, but I end up taking like a 5-minute break or a 6-minute break. Because as soon as I see the green box that says your ad break is about to start, I'm like, okay, well, ad break's about to start. I'm going to throw words up for you and go and take care of myself. So you only see like 3 minutes of ads if you're not subbed or whatever. But I, in theory, take like 6 minutes or more if I need to. So I make sure. Sometimes it's really hard if I'm really focused on my game, and that's on me. But for the most part, I try and take breaks. But when I feel like an MS crash is coming on, my face gets really heavy. And my eyes start to hurt really bad. And my exhaustion level just tanks. And I'm like, I don't know if I can be here for very much longer. And then chat will be like, if you need to go, go. And then I'll be like, my brain catches up and is like, because I'm stubborn. We're back to the stubborn. I don't know if you know that about me.
I mean, I knew that right when I first met you with the red hair, because, you know, my wife's red hair. And stubborn, it comes with that.
I'm stubborn, and I'm like, no, I can push through this. And that's the worst thing to do, is push through it, because it just makes it worse. So I'm like, I need to raid out. I need to go take a nap. I'm so sorry. Like, and everybody says stop saying sorry, but I'm a person that over says sorry, so you're gonna have to deal with it. But that's when I feel like an MS episode's coming on, and it's just, I've given too much. She's stubborn and loud. Wow.
I mean...
Wow.
Well, the loud is your fault. I mean, you could turn the stream down. I mean, that's
exactly. Thank you. Or don't push the streamer to be loud. How about that, Fishman JW? But yeah, that's when I know it's time to hop off and go take a break. But also now with school being back in session, I've started earlier so I can get off a little earlier so I can go take a nap before driving, because the worst thing in the back of my brain is, what if I have an MS episode while driving and either I crash before getting Hunter and then Hunter doesn't know where I'm at, or I crash while having Hunter in my car, and that would be the worst thing ever for me to experience. So
it can come out of nowhere without even
yes,
yeah, that's
it comes out of nowhere. There's nothing that I can do to prevent it from happening before. I don't know what triggers it. It just triggers itself, and that's the scary part, and that's the hardest thing to explain to doctors. And even when I was trying to get disability, I got denied, but everybody says you get denied the first time. So we're going to wait until next year to try again. But like, I don't know when it's going to happen. It can happen anytime. I call my crashes, I call my flare-ups crashes, because literally I feel like
crashes down. Yeah, exactly.
My body is just crashing down. It's almost like, I don't have diabetes, but I guess I could compare it to an insulin crash. Like, I have no energy. I do occasionally slur my words, and Tim will be like, you need to go lay down. And I'll go and lay down. I lose function in my left side. And in the worst case scenario, when I had to go to the hospital, it was my full body. And it was the first time it was my full body. I had just, I think, gotten done doing like a really long stream, and I tried to play Call of Duty, and I think that's when it solidified of me not being able to play Call of Duty. Is after that long stream, I went and played Call of Duty with my family, because I used to play with them all the time, and I just missed it. I think that solidified. And then I tried to stream again the next day, and I had a crash, and I was like, I gotta get off stream. I gotta go lay down. And then the whole body thing happened, and Tim called my neurologist, and he was like, you gotta come in. He was like, there's nothing else I can tell you to do. You'll have to come in. So I think that's what triggered it. And honestly, I haven't done that since. I haven't played Call of Duty or anything, because even my family, my cousin and my brother, they were like, I really think you doing your long stream and then playing Call of Duty with us and then streaming again is what did it. And they were like, we're sad that you can't play with us, but we would rather you not play with us to have that happen again.
I mean, the over fatigue part of it, like what people don't understand, we were talking about this a little bit earlier when you were talking about like streamer stuff, like even like the biggest names of like the Tonight Show and like all these people that you watch on TV that do like interviews and do things like that, or like even entertainment, whatever, they have commercial breaks. They have a staff that helps them. They just go out there, do what they need to do, read the teleprompter, do whatever they need to do, add a little bit of flair, and then be done. And most of their shows are only like 2 hours or more. And then you have the streamers that are the producers, the writers, the entertainers, you know, the voice work, like the designers, like everything. So like the stress level for someone that's trying to put on their own show. Yeah, I could see why you can burn out really fast or have something to hit that so fast, though. I get that.
Yeah, and like speaking with like stress, I've cut a lot of things and a lot of people out of my existence because the one major thing that my neurologist said is I have to watch my stress level because the one day when Tim's car broke down, he was talking to me about it while on stream. And it was the worst time that the car could break down. And I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, the stuff that we had saved was supposed to be for something else. And I was stressing myself out on stream and immediately was crashing. And I was like, I got to go, guys. Like, I did this to myself. This is my fault. But, like, I've stressed myself out to where I have a flare up right now and I've got to go and lay down and figure all this stuff out. So I was like, I'm sorry, but so from that, I try and just eliminate my stress and not stress about too much that's not in my control anymore.
Right. So now that you've, like, with the process of getting partner, you did all the push, you got everything you needed to get done. How many times did you apply until they said yes?
I only applied once.
I mean, if you have the right community, obviously they look at it. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. So I'm like, that's awesome that you got it the first try.
Yeah, I only applied once. I had the days. So anybody out there that's ever going to try to apply, I got the achievement of saying, hey, you did it. You can
finally apply.
Submit the application and whatever. And it was actually after my birthday. Because I applied for it in March. I think I got the okay to fill out the application a week after my birthday. And I had the days, so you need 8 days 1 month and 8 days another month.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that, and I had that in like maybe a couple of more days. And I was really nervous, and I was like, I don't know if I should apply. Like, what if I apply and I get denied or whatever? I hate rejection.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. That's also, yeah.
I hate rejection, and like everybody's like, it's okay if you get rejected, you just try again.
No.
And I'm like, you don't understand. For me, like rejection is the worst for me.
Yeah.
But somebody else, because the ESO community helped me out a lot. Red Spectre helped me out a lot. I owe a lot to a lot of the ESO community and my very own community, because my very own community got us to almost that point without having to have like 1,000,001 raids to get us to there.
Yeah.
The raids did help, but like I was already almost there when I first started the initial go, and being almost there is what made me do the initial go.
That's awesome.
But I filled out the application, and honestly, I didn't expect to get a reply back as soon as I did. But I kept looking at my email constantly. Every time I got an email, I was like, is this like the email? And it was Wednesday when I had got the approval email, and I started crying, and Tim thought something happened.
like what results did you get back this time? Like, geez. Yeah, exactly.
He was like, what family member is like hurt or whatever, you know? And I showed him my phone, and he was like,
it's like, happy tears, finally.
Yeah, I'm crying. And then I called my best friend. Everybody knows her. I called my first best friend, Becky, and then I called Awkward Monsters. And then I was gonna hide it. I wasn't gonna go into streams and tell everybody, and I was like, I can't hide it. Yeah. I'm not very good at keeping secrets. So I started going into everybody's channel, and they at first they didn't notice it, and then they were like, oh, wait,
what?
Wait. They were like, you got it? I was like, I got it. And then we'd all,
like, is that something like once you get it, you have to activate the check, or does that automatically get put there?
It automatically gets put there when you put the application in.
Oh, okay. Because like once they accepted it, they would put it there. But like I've seen some partners turn it off, so I didn't know if that was like something you had to turn on or.
Yeah, as long as you click the right things, it pops up.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to be, so like I said, I got it on a Wednesday, and I was going to be streaming that Thursday anyway. So I was going to wait until Thursday to show everybody, but I couldn't wait.
Yeah. You just started talking to chat, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just started talking, and then I put it in Discord, and then we celebrated it Thursday. So
no, that's awesome. Before we move into the Dragon's Nest part of it, there's always a question I always ask. I think you're probably the third, maybe fourth partner that I've talked to, and it's interesting to hear this question. And it's not part of our like stuff and like that, but like, have you seen a difference since before you were partner and since you become partner in streaming and community?
I love this question because the first thing everybody asked me after I got my check mark was, how do you feel? And I was like, how am I supposed to feel?
Yeah.
I guess is, you guys tell me, how is it that I'm supposed to feel? Because I don't feel any different.
Yeah.
I'm still me. I just have a check mark.
Yeah.
I don't need to change just because I have that check mark.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's too much work to be anybody but me.
Yeah.
I don't need to change my name. I don't need to do anything that I wasn't doing before. I'm still going to do all the things that I'm doing before. I'm not changing what games I'm playing.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
I don't feel any different. I just have a cool check mark.
Like,
honestly,
I understand that, like, and I get that point where like you might feel the same because you're who you are, but like, have you seen like the community change, or like more like viewers, less viewership? Like sometimes, like when they check is sometimes a curse. So I'm just curious how that affected you.
I don't pay attention to my numbers when I'm live, so honestly, I don't know. But like, honestly too though, like yes, I do still want to grow my community. I still want to grow my channel. I still have goals that I want to hit. Do I want to try and be up in the hundreds? Absolutely. But
yeah,
that's going to take more work. That's going to take more work on me. But like I was telling everybody the other day, it's going to have to be a slow and steady race for me going forward. I can't do what I used to do.
Yeah.
I can't network like I used to. It's too hard on my eyes. It's too hard on my body.
Right.
And when I get off of my computer, and Awkward was telling me this, I do believe today, I need to stop making myself feel guilty for not being able to be there to support people the way that I want to support people.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna know and understand. But I need to stop putting the guilt on myself for not being able to be there. When I do say that I pull people up on my computer, I have you up on my computer, and I'll come in here. And if I have enough energy, I'll say hi, and then I'll go back into lurking. But like, I'm a lurker now.
Me too.
And honestly, that's just for my health reasons. I'm not going to be able to do long streams. I do want to grow and keep hitting goals for my channel and help people along the way to hit goals for their channel. It's just going to have to be different. And there's a lot of things changing with Twitch right now. So we're just getting off of summer break. So people are going to be coming back, and there'll be a flux in Twitch again. And it's just one of those things that happens throughout the year until school's out again, and then everything drops again. So like, you just, and I say this, and sometimes I feel kind of bad for saying it. Like, I feel like I'm kind of bragging, but I'm not, because again, she told me that it's fine, everybody does it, but I found my niche with Twitch, and that's ESO. And I'm trying to make something with WoW, but more so, it's more of just ESO. It's my game. Yeah. I can sit there and play for hours. It doesn't hurt my body. I can play with friends. I can still chat. It's my thing. I'm so passionate about it. Like, I was watching dev videos and dev lives, and I was like tearing up because of like the amazing things that they're doing with the game and continuing to do with the game, and the community. The community is one of the best communities I've ever come across. So helpful. Everybody's so nice. Everybody tries to help everybody. Like, that's awesome. I don't know. It's my thing. And she was like, that's okay. You found your thing. And it's really hard for some streamers to find their thing. and I I don't know. Like I
It works
yeah,
out for you because you figure out what
yeah.
it is. Like, so like, I guess my follow-up would be like, now that you found your thing and now that you became partner, like how long did it take you from like getting partner to go, now I want to manage my own stream team? And then once that you figured that out, then how did you come up with the name and logo and all that kind of stuff?
Well, funny thing is, Awkward was talking to me, and she was like, "Now that you are partner, I can have two stream teams." And she was like, "You need to wait."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I do need to wait because I just got partner, and I don't know what it's going to look like afterwards. Like, I don't know how like I'm gonna feel,
Right.
what I can do, what I can bring to the table, blah this and that." And everybody was like, stream team, stream team, stream team. And I was like, okay, I'll make one. So I think I made it while I was live. And we came up with the name while I was live. And funny enough with the name, if you guys go to Steam and type in Dragon's Nest, it's an actual game that came out like a long time ago. It's an MMORPG.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It is. Yeah.
I didn't know that when I named my stream team. Because I just love dragons, so
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna name it this. So then yeah, I made the team and I made a little section in Discord, and I was like, whoever wants to, it was before we got the application.
Right.
I was like, whoever wants to be a part of the team, like drop your name in here and I'll add you. And so many right off the rip, I think it was like 20 or 25 wanted to be on the team, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it kept growing. And I was like, oh my God, are we going to get to 100 before I go to TwitchCon? And sure enough, I hit 100, and now I think I'm at like 117. I think I'm almost 120. I don't even know where to like say thank you, or like, I don't know. I'm very appreciative of everybody that wants to be a part of my team. And I send it to everybody, and I sent it to you. I was like, this is a breakdown of everything that I'm going through.
Yeah.
I want to try to do group things and group activities with the team. I'm not always going to be able to. And that's been very apparent. I think we've been able to do with me at least one time, and the rest of the months have just been really crappy, health wise. But everybody's really understanding, and I keep telling everybody, I was like, you don't have to have me there if you guys want to do stuff together.
Right.
I mean, it's not a requirement. Nothing is a requirement. You are your own person. You can follow everybody if you want to follow everybody. You raid whoever you want to raid. And I've been getting told like a lot of people have been raiding a lot of people in the Dragon's Nest, and then they'll sit there and talk about me and stuff like that. But like, I'm like, I was like, you guys are so sweet. You don't have to talk about me.
Well, I mean, you have started it all, so that's what kind of brings people together first, and then you kind of use that as, because like me, like before we even start talking about the Dragon's Nest, I was like, I don't join stream teams at all, period. And then when I saw yours and I saw what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it, like, and I say this to stream all the time, like, I said no right away. Like I had Allie, I had Butterfly. It's like, hey, you need to come over and join this. I'm like, no. And they're like, why? It's because I have a lot of questions I'm going to ask before I even do anything. And around the 4th of July,
conversation
all day long. It was like maybe like 6 hours of talking, and they're like, I'm just gonna add you. And I was like, okay. Like, not even like are you sure? Like that. Like I could tell right off the bat. Like, just the way we were talking back and forth, I just knew that with that. And with your permission, you could say no to this if you want. I will put the application in the YouTube feed in the description below if you want.
Absolutely.
And then understand that it's not just somebody that just like, hey, I'm going to fill this out, automatically get in. It's going to be a process of saying, are you right for the community and all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic.
I do always say, like, it's easier for like if I do know who you are. But if I don't know who you are, like, come and hang out and let me come and hang out with you while you're live. Let me know when you're live or whatever. let me know that you filled out an application, because then I can check out who you are, because I don't want just anybody
Right.
into the community. Because at the end of the day, the community and whatever is a reflection of who I am and what my streams are. And I don't want unsafe and rude people in my streams, so I wouldn't
Right.
want that for my team.
Yeah, in the community.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you guys are my top priority of protection. So if somebody's like a bad egg, like I'm gonna get rid of them pretty quickly. Because I wouldn't want that in my stream. And that's a reflection of me and my team. And I also say in the thing that I give you guys,
Mhm.
like, we don't go around and we don't try to put our opinions onto somebody or bring another streamer down or be hateful to another streamer, because again, even it doesn't matter how many streams you're a part of. You're a representation of each one of those streams and not just my stream. So
Right.
if you're negative in any way, you're representing that team in a negative way, and it doesn't have to just be my team. It's
Right.
X amount of however many stream teams you're a part of. So you don't want to go around doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I put my health in there, and let you guys know, like, this is what I can do and what I can't do. And I don't want to let anybody down. So I wanted to make sure that when I was saying, hey, I sent an invite for you, like, this is a breakdown of, I want to help you guys. Stream teams aren't go all to you're gonna grow or I can help you grow,
Right.
because that's just not possible.
Mhm.
It's a tool, and however you utilize that tool is on you.
Right.
However you grow your channel is ultimately on you.
Yeah, because we're
But
not a
I
follow
can try.
group like what you
Yeah,
said.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
follow
we're
for
yeah.
follow or
Yeah.
a support for support. So if
Yeah.
somebody comes and you raid them, but they don't raid you back, please don't get upset, because that's not what we're about.
Right.
But you're in charge of making those connections, making those friendships. If you do make that connection and that friendship with somebody, it doesn't have to be reciprocated. And I before was in a team that was for follow and support for support, and it ended up being really nasty and really awful, and I don't want to ever do that again.
Yeah.
So I don't want everybody to be a part of that either.
Right.
So whatever you put into your stream, and it's in the streamer tips in my Discord, whatever you put into your stream is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
And if you don't utilize that tool the way that it should be utilized, then you just won't see any growth, unfortunately. And that's on you. That isn't on me
Yeah.
or the team as a whole, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's what I want to do. Like I said before, I've always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I can only give you the things that I've gone through for the 5 years that I've been streaming.
Yeah.
And I can only tell you what I did to get to partner, but I can't guarantee you that it's going to work for you,
Yeah.
because everybody's journey is different. It's not the same. So it's not going to be the same thing of what I did for you.
Yeah, and you were and to be fair, like as I look around, and this isn't a shot across the bow for anybody that's in chat or anybody that's streaming or anybody that catches this on YouTube later on or whatever. This isn't a shot of anybody or disrespectful for anything, but like you were already almost there. So it's a little bit easier to say
Yes.
I was going for partner at like 75 to 100 plus, and then when people are out there like I don't understand why I'm not getting a partner, because I'm only hitting 10 viewers all the time. It's like it takes a bit to get to 75, and it takes a bit to get to whatever. So that 13 or 14 that you have, like right now, like I don't really care what number I have, because I don't do this. I don't do Twitch for partner. I don't do Twitch for anything else. I just do it for for fun, for entertainment, for that kind of thing. And it's never for clout or nothing like that. It's more for
Right.
like, hey, this is what we're going for, and this is what we're having fun with. So just understand that, like you said, like what worked for you because you're already almost there when you started, versus somebody that's like, I have to grind a lot more because I only have 14 viewers to however many viewers
Right.
you're at or whatever. Yeah.
Right. And I can tell you what game I played, but it's not a guarantee that you're going to have that same growth with that same game.
Exactly.
So like,
Yep.
and again, in itself, you can't get upset because I said, this is what I played and it's not working for you.
Yeah.
But again, it takes time. It takes networking within that game or with whoever it is that you're networking with. That I always go back to, are you networking? Are you making those connections?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to make those connections with every single person, but you are going to be able to know in your heart who you pick and choose to make those connections with, that they'll let you talk about your channel freely and get that stuff out there. And then I also ask, when people come to me about stuff like that, are you utilizing those socials?
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people will say it's like too much work or whatever, but again, whatever you put into streaming is
Yeah.
what you're going to get out of it. And if you're not utilizing those socials, nobody knows who you are, because Twitch is such a huge platform
Right.
that you're just one part of that piece in Twitch, and nobody knows who you are or where to go to see you.
Yeah.
So
Going back to what you
you
said about being like producer, being the marketer, being the entertainer, to script writer, all that kind of stuff. So I totally
exactly.
understand that. Okay,
Get
so
clips out there, even if they're stupid ones. Get them out there.
I mean, yeah, just do it. Yeah. So to keep it time wise, because I know like the attention span on YouTube and attention span on a lot of people are like, okay, I like either 10-second videos or I like an hour plus videos or whatever like that. To keep it kind of down, here's what I want to do. I have a lightning round. We do this every time we have guests. You've never seen these questions. You don't know these. Some of them are like, hey, pretty easy. Like, here's the answer, done. Some of them are a little bit like, hey, what's harder than this? It gives a little bit of description. And then we're going to cut the YouTube feed a little bit, talk a little bit, and for the people that are live, and then kind of like rate out and have a little bit of fun. And then I can spend some time with people later on, because I have family too, and it's 3 o'clock, and that I don't really enjoy. I usually wake up at 3, so not so. Okay, so here's what I got to do. We'll start with a couple easy ones, and then some of them are going to be a little bit more of a like thought process. So you've been around the world a little bit. So what would you like more for food wise? Do you like Texas barbecue or the Wisconsin cheese curds?
The Wisconsin cheese curds for sure.
Yeah, me too. If you could only celebrate one holiday every year, which would it be and why?
Halloween. Because I love fall time.
Halloween.
Fall is my I actually got married in the fall time, and my theme was around fall, so for sure Halloween.
I love that one too. What's harder, keeping up with your son or keeping up with Twitch chat?
Keeping up with Twitch chat.
I can imagine that. Yeah. We talked about that a little bit earlier. That was kind of a throwback. I had it in there. I was like, I'm going to ask that because I know we talked about that. Yeah, your first decoration of Halloween. That's I mean, it's getting
the
close.
Halloween store is open on Amazon.
Yeah, it is.
You're welcome.
Networking or consistency. What got you further as a streamer?
Both. You have to be consistent with your networking.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other.
Yeah.
If you're not consistent with your networking and getting your stuff out, then you're not going to see growth. And that is honestly, like, it's a guaranteed fact. The people are going to tell you that it's not going to work for you, but again, it's your journey. It's going to take however long it's going to take for you. But if you're not consistently getting your content out there, you're not going to grow.
I have facts. Yeah. So you mentioned you have two games. You have Elder Scrolls Online and World of Warcraft. Which one do you think is better world building?
ESO. I think WoW was a good game at its peak, but I don't feel like it's talked about. And when I first started, there was a lot of controversy with one of the expansions that was coming out, and with ESO, they just came out with new content, and everybody loves the new content and stuff like that. ESO is a lot easier. Also, WoW is that big major MMO, and it takes a lot to get to know how to play the game and get used to it. I'm still learning with ESO, but the learning curve with ESO is way
different than
different than WoW.
So would you say, like, obviously you had a lot of bigger community with ESO to get you there and all that kind of stuff, and then you have the WoW community that's helping you as well. Like, if you had to pick one or the other, you can only pick one, play one. Which one would you pick?
ESO.
is it because it's more cozy, or is it because it's more entertaining?
It's more entertaining for me. I do like it a lot better. I like that it's a lot easier for me to sometimes pick up on things. Um I like that I can just stand and I'm not getting attacked and I can talk and the game can just be there and I can talk and we'll get into like a bunch of waffling or tangents or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the game. It's just at your own pace kind of thing. And with WoW, there's a lot of like level capping. WoW as a whole, I love it.
Yeah.
And if I don't play it on stream, which, excuse me,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it one more shot. But it might just be that MMO that I play and have my cozy game offline if I am able to sit at my PC. I told Tim I kind of want to get a gaming laptop, so like if I did want to play WoW while I'm relaxing,
Yeah.
I could just sit and play WoW, and if people see me online, I can hop in my Discord into the WoW thing, and if they see me playing, they can come and play with me
That's cool.
that way.
I always
and
try to
then
find a
just-
cozy game to play when you're not streaming. It makes it
Exactly,
exactly.
and then just leave ESO for like, because a lot of people are following me for storylines for each area, so like I would leave that for that so we can all experience it together type
Right.
of thing.
So I know that you, like Stardew, you have Call of Duty, you have ESO, you have World of Warcraft, you have all these other games, Stream Raiders. Which community do you think was the most toxic? I know. Hey, usually you go the opposite way, but I like to go a little bit the other way.
I'm gonna give numbers.
Fair.
So like the top two. So the second one I would say would be obviously like, well, third would be Apex and second would be Warzone. Obviously because they're shooters and they're just toxic to begin with.
Shit. Yeah.
A lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this, but that's fine. The first one I would have to say would be Stream Raiders. I think a lot of the downfall for Stream Raiders was the toxicity within Stream Raiders, unfortunately.
No,
I met a lot of great people from Stream Raiders, and I'm very thankful for meeting the good ones that were there.
Right.
But the rest, I feel like, was very toxic, very high school cliquish. And that's very unfortunate because I feel like that game could have went further than what it did. And it's very unfortunate how it ended, but if I had to say the number one toxic game out of the things that I did play, it would have had to have been Stream Raiders.
I thought that too, because it's more of a scale. Sometimes you're on a good side of it and you're like doing really good, and then all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck just happened? Like really quick, it hits it like. That's why I asked the question, because I totally agree with that. A few more, and then we'll cut the YouTube channel, and then we'll kind of hang out for a little bit. Would you rather have your best stream ever on a bad health day, or a calm, easy stream on a good health day?
A calm, easy stream on a good health day, because when it's a bad health day, I can't give you my all. I'm giving you maybe 50%, maybe lower. And it doesn't last for very long. On my good day, I can get up with you. I can dance. I can cheer. We can get even crazier than what we normally get crazy. And it's because I feel good.
Yeah.
If I don't feel good, again, I can't give you all of me.
I agree with that one too. So some side things. Favorite guilty pleasure food you've never give up, even if the doctor says you can't have it and you can.
I don't have that honestly anymore because I did give it up. I've changed my diet a lot and I'm still changing my diet a lot.
Bacon. Yeah, bacon.
Yeah. Bacon. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't eat like I'm trying to get away from processed stuff. Um, I've been noticing and it's been over a lot of social media stuff. Like, there's been talk of like how bad like our food here
Very
is
much so. Yeah.
compared to overseas and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because a lot of stuff that we have, they ban overseas. Um, so and with my MS, the doctor would rather me be on a Mediterranean style kind of diet anyway. So I've cut out a lot of processed sugars, a lot of processed foods. I eat at home a lot more than I eat out. And if we do eat out, it's the healthier side of eating out.
Hmm.
It's not McDonald's or anything like that. So when I make breakfast, it's not like pastries or anything like that. It's bacon, eggs, sausage, like the full meal. Yeah, unfortunately we have to cook it all the time, but like I'd rather eat healthier
Hmm.
than put the stuff in my body because it was making me a lot weaker and a lot more exhausted eating bad than
Yeah.
changing to what I have been eating.
I'm the same way with chips. Like, I know how it makes me feel, but I just can't stop eating chips.
I wasn't much of a chip person to begin with. So like that for me wasn't a bad thing to cut out. Soda seems to be the bad thing that I have a hard time getting rid of. I can't have too much dairy anymore.
Hmm.
Which is sad because I used to drink milk all the time. And I ate ice cream all the time, but now if I have too much of it upsets my stomach.
Yep.
And inflames my stomach. When everything was going on, I thought I had like a gluten tolerance, so I cut like a lot of gluten out, but it didn't end up being that. So
Yeah.
I try to eat healthy or
No, that's good. No, that's awesome. So before we end the YouTube channel, I usually ask the same questions like, "Hey, what's next for you?" We already kind of already talked about that. So let's change it up a little bit and say, if you had a goal in mind in the next, say, 6 months, where would you want to be, and how would you want the Dragon's Nest to be? All that kind of fun stuff, and then we'll end it there.
the next goal that I'm trying to hit for me. Well, me in the stream, I want to be a part of the ESO stream team. They should be opening applications soon, and it's going to open up more like giveaway opportunities for other community members that play ESO and hang out in my channels and stuff like that. I'll be able to give more drops and stuff like that. And when there is drops, there'll be extra drops and stuff like that. So it'll just be
cool.
like an extra thing that I want to be a part of and help my community because they helped me get to where I am. Not just like the ESO community, but everybody that was before that actually like started playing ESO with me and was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'll play with you, stuff like that.
That's cool.
What was the other question? Dragon's Nest.
Yep.
Just to continue to grow, honestly. Have like-minded people on the team. Honestly, like I want you again, it's not like a requirement, but have more of you guys come together and do things together that doesn't require me to find more artists, so we have more options for like logos and stuff like that. More Templar Knight was the one that made some of the sounds that are in the asset part for sounds.
They're great. Yeah.
So like if everybody wants a different sound than what's there, hit him up.
Mhm.
He'll make you a sound. He makes sounds on Thursdays. But like to get more art, I have somebody lined up that I'm going to talk to that is part of the Dragon's Nest. And he made a cool thing for his panels, but I'm going to talk to him and like come up with ideas. And Irish Beast came to me about like, cause I was already thinking about it. But coming up with a merch design that every single one of you will be able to put into your store, not just for me, but I want to do it for like across the board. So all of you have the opportunity to sell this shirt for
cool.
everybody in your community and not just something for me to benefit from. I want everybody to benefit from. So again, I just I want to continue to grow, help everybody. If you're stuck with something, like, don't hesitate to ask. I'm just sitting at the couch. Like, I have my phone. I get the Discord messages. Like, don't be afraid to ask. But also don't be afraid. Like, if you guys want to get a group of the team together, that's what the team collab is for. Get everybody together that is going to have the time. If they don't have the time, I mean, I get it. We all have lives, and I make that apparent too. Real life comes before URL. So IRL before URL, and I say that all the time.
Yeah.
If you can't make that one, there's going to be other ones. I do want to try and set up something that does involve me, because I know a lot of people like to play games with me, and I get that, but my health sucks. And I feel bad that I can't do all the things all the time, but I know everybody's very understanding and would rather me take care of myself. But I want to do more with the team, even if it's just like movie night.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a spot in the Discord where we can think of movies and do like a movie night.
Just hang out. Yeah. I love, actually, one of my favorite things before we cut out here is, like, I love just to sit in Discord and just bullshit and just say, hey, everything that's said here stays here, doesn't go out. If you need to vent, you need to say something, spit it out. If you tuned into a streamer and that streamer just isn't for you, or said something that you didn't like, here's a spot to say, hey, Gate, this is what I need to get off my chest, or something like that. So that's awesome. So in the chat for YouTube, I appreciate you. You'll find her name, Tatsua_Inc. On twitch.tv/ whatever. You know it's on there. It's in the link below. And everything that we have, we might even put the Discord in there, the application, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be in the show notes. So I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you are live, stick around. We're not going anywhere.
Bye,
thank
YouTube.
you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.